Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Julia.
Good morning, Aldi.
And welcome to our Wellness Wednesday at Kormada. This month is dedicated to emotional wellness, and what is so interesting, every month's dedication will trigger in me
Yes.
what
I'm also
actually
emotional this month.
the tests. So today we are going to talk about anxiety. Last week we spoke about depression. Please, if you didn't watch it, you can go on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook wall, and you can go and watch these videos for free anytime you want. Share it with your friends, send it to someone you feel needs that help, who needs that message to help them through it, because at the end of the day, we are all human, we are all here, and the more we are empowered and the more we are educated and the more we can learn, the easier we can expand our awareness and the easier we can apply it in our lives and move forward. So today we are going to talk about anxiety. And Dr. Julia, as you know, I have been struggling with anxiety since I can remember. As a very small child, I have had anxiety. It comes and goes. It goes up and down and fluctuates in my life. I have, from a young age, especially from the age of 22 up until 34, 35, really fought against anxiety. I didn't want it. I felt it ruined my life. I felt it was debilitating me. I found that it overpowered me. It was in charge of me. And it really, at a stage, I remember after Marcus was born, and I had the shock of being a new mother, having a baby. I remember how bad my anxiety was at that point in life. I also recall my first year at university. I would have constant...
You see, everything when you start new.
Change.
It changes, yes.
Change.
It's challenge when you start something new.
Yes. So it took me many years to come to a point where I could take my anxiety and see what triggers it. When I took my anxiety and I started identifying the trigger, I could start identifying what triggers it and I could manage it. Till today, you know, it's not gone. I live with it every day.
I would tell you more, it will never go on.
Yes.
What we talk now,
yes, because what I'm busy integrating is making peace that I have it, and then learning
how to control
it, to manage it. So as we go to the end of the video, I'm going to share my point of view of what I, as an Access Bar practitioner, have learned about anxiety and what gave me the last bit of freedom in embracing it. But before we go there, you're going to teach us today what is anxiety, and I also want to ask, and what I have learned, and you will tell my story, but anxiety can also be something physical in the body. It's not only an emotional thing, am I right? So what is anxiety?
See, everything what I'm going to talk now, it's my own opinion.
Of
That
course,
is
your
my
point
people, my
of view.
own opinion
Yes.
and my own experience. 16 years in the medicine. That's why actually I have my own way how I see it. When I arrived to South Africa, I would tell you now, I was really surprised. It's a number one problem of my clients which comes to me. It's number one. Till today, fears and anxiety is the most popular problems. And more, yes, I see it's nearly every second client with the fears and anxiety. Maybe in Russia it's a little bit different situation, but in South Africa, for me, it's a number one problem. And what does it mean, fear and anxiety? How people usually feel? It's usually connects with how when I work with the clients, it's the kidneys. Kidneys take energy of fears and anxiety, and it is also sitting in your solar plexus.
Yes.
It's a huge spasm here where you feel it. That is why a lot of people feel heaviness, or they feel like they can't eat, they can't swallow food or drink. It's a spasm here, It's not your stomach, I would tell you. It's not your stomach, it is your panic attack which started, panic, fear, or anxiety. That's how your body reacts. That's why you need to acknowledge that first physical sensation here, or where is your kidneys and the back, you start to feel like some heaviness on your backside. This is also could be fears and anxiety, or your panic attack started. So it's two organs which react physically, solar plexus and kidneys.
It's so interesting because when I feel anxiety, let me tell you where I feel it in my body. I feel it, my heart starts to beat very fast.
I tell you why.
Okay, why?
Yes, solar plexus.
Yeah.
It is a nervous plexus between your chest organs, diaphragm, which helps you to breathe, and it is your abdomen organs. That is why you can feel problems in the breathing, heartbeat, or you can't breathe with a full chest because it's pulling to your diaphragm. It is a breathing muscle.
Because I mean, everybody that gets a panic attack says to me, oh, I couldn't breathe.
Yes.
My heart was beating so
It's not
fast.
heart
I thought I was getting a heart attack. I thought I was going to die.
or asthma attack or
Okay.
something. It's not, because it's pulling your muscles which you use for breathing because of solar plexus.
Okay, so when I get a panic attack, or when my anxiety is very high, I feel like I want to vomit.
Yes,
What is that?
It means abdomen organs now are under stress as well, under pressure and spasm. They can't move. That is why it is your gallbladder, it is your stomach, it is your liver. Gallbladder and liver produces bile. Bile, it makes you vomiting, it can stimulate diarrhea, it could stimulate like bloating and everything.
So it's not your throat.
It's not your
And
throat.
it's not your heart.
No.
My goodness.
It is a
Okay.
solar plexus. I would recommend everybody who have the symptoms read about solar plexus. Extremely important part of our body. At medical university, they did not teach us about solar plexus. I already learned before. When clients come to me with a different variation of panic attack and very different, and I thought, why? Somebody has diarrhea, somebody who can't breathe. I thought, what? And it's still panic attack. When you do certain asking, talking, and examine people, they say, no, it's still, but they react it differently because it depends if it's spasm in the abdomen organ or it's spasm in the chest organs. And it's solar plexus.
Yes, and if you think about it, if we just listen to the body, where do you feel a shock? It feels like someone takes the muscle and they punch you. In
Yes.
Afrikaans, we say, hulle het nou net my wind uitgeslaan, of die wind is uit my seile gevat. So that means in English, someone has just punched the wind out.
Yes.
They
Yes.
say your wind sits
Yes.
here, and it's
Yes.
an Afrikaans proverb. And it actually makes sense
I would
because this
tell
is
you
your
more.
power center.
Chinese medicine, they talk about wind, because they talk about wind, they talk about fire, water. It's a little bit different way how they feel
Yes.
organs, wind energy sitting here.
Yes, because it feels like when you get a shock, or you get upset, or change comes, it feels like somebody punches you
that's
right
it,
there,
yeah.
which is your power, energy.
Yes, this is
center.
a solar plexus. It is a self-esteem, self-confidence, self-belief, power, making decision.
Okay.
That is why if somebody, some situation, some person, some crisis in your life took away your power, took away your self-esteem, self-confidence, somebody put you down, you can put you down yourself,
Of
because
course.
you do it. Maybe this is a panic attack started, and everything is sitting solar plexus. It's extremely important. We need to teach kids how to use this power. It is I'm going to tell you, it is a money chakra, it
Of
is a
course,
money center,
of
it is a success, career growing, and everything. You can't be success and achieve a lot of in your work and your business when you have a very weak solar plexus.
Yes, because in color therapy, we learn that this is the yellow center of the body.
Oh.
And what is, yellow is the sun, yellow is warmth.
It's ego, it is the ego,
Yes,
high ego,
it's the eye.
healthy ego.
It's the I, it's the self. Yellow is also fierce.
Yes.
And yellow has got to do with joy. And yellow has also got to do with addiction and body image.
Yeah,
so
this is
everything you actually say
Yes.
is coming together beautifully when we talk about anxiety.
And I will tell you more. It's very interesting. People who keep fat around this area. Be honest with yourself. Ask. You don't like yourself? You have a lot of doubts. You don't have self-esteem, self-confidence. That is why you try to cover this weak area with your fat. You can see a lot of people come, they see the very slim body, but fat is here. Perfect. That is why something wrong with your solar plexus, with your power, self-esteem, or you're struggling with the panic attacks, which you cover with alcohol, with the smoking, antidepressants, or you do something else and you cover it and you don't deal it nicely, you don't manage.
Well, I'm going to tell you, for me, I have learned to manage my anxiety in different ways. You remember when you met me for the first time for our bioresonance session, and I told you I've got this anxiety, and this is the interesting story Doctor and I are going to share today, because it gave me a lot of release with my anxiety that I had. Now, I was raised, in my opinion, in a very good, strong, stable home. I wasn't abused in the sense where, you get people who have very hard lives, people that the father drinks or hits the mother or chase them out of the house. I didn't have that upbringing, so I could never understand. Like you.
I grew up in this.
Thanks. Yeah, we are very much each other's opposites. I could never understand why I was born or have always felt this anxiety. And when I met you the first time and you put me on the machine, you said to me that my body is testing positive for something called toxoplasmosis. Now, I write the story in my book, The Story of You and Me. The chapter is called It's All in Your Head. It's a very good story. And I tell the story because I want the reader to understand where anxiety comes from and what a big area it actually covers. And I remember you saying to me, you have this. And as you said it to me, I remembered my mother told me many years ago that when she was pregnant with me, she had toxoplasmosis. But I have never told it to a doctor or anything. You don't seem to say this. And I remember you were looking at me saying, that's interesting, because I then, after I was with you, went to my mother and asked her about it, and she confirmed. She said, yes, you definitely had it. Now, I remember you saying to me that toxoplasmosis is a parasite. So tell us about toxoplasmosis.
Yes. You see, let me talk about just parasites.
Yes.
Because parasites can control you very nicely. They can stimulate a lot of emotional problems. They can stimulate not only anxiety, panic attacks, they can stimulate your depression, pessimistic thoughts. They can change your personalities completely, because they are controlling us, unfortunately, in a certain way, because they're sitting in the central nervous system, and actually they tell you what to eat, what to drink, and many things when they're growing a lot, what to experience.
They take over your body.
Yes.
What is a parasite? A parasite is something that takes over and sucks everything from you without your permission.
Now, because now I'm just thinking about other people, they're like parasites.
Well, this is what I want to say.
Yes.
That because remember, the physical body is only mirroring or the messenger to tell you in your life. And I remember, as we were working with the parasite in my body, how many parasitic people were around me. And even today, I have to be very aware who is taking me for granted, who is not respecting me, who is using and abusing me for good things, and I get nothing in return. So even today, I have a big lesson with parasitic lessons, parasitic energy, and parasitic people.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about the parasite.
You see, parasites are living in your central nervous system, which is your endorphins. This is why your pleasure hormones. This is also other neurotransmitters. It is a nervous system hormones which they can suppress, stimulate something like suppressed hormones for stimulate more anxiety, too much adrenaline, too much noradrenaline, cortisol, and everything. They can control many things. That's why actually, but I would be honest, everybody has parasites, because they're in the food, they're in the air, in the water, everybody. But more important, how your body responds. When your body immune system is strong, when all your lymphatic system is clean, when your circulate nice, the blood circulation is good, when you're eating alkaline food, when your body more alkaline, not acid, your body has a strength to fight and suppress growing of these parasites. That is why I would tell you it is an everyday work. Everyday work with your physical body, with your mental body, with your emotional body, to keep your power in whole body, and fight and always win against situation, against parasites, against everything. For parasites, for example, parasites could sit, somebody will have parasites not in the brain, in the liver,
Yes.
and it will stimulate anger. That is why toxoplasmosis could stimulate anger. Sitting, that is why this person will be immediately ugly person when something happened. Somebody will stimulate depression, it will sit in a spleen, and it will stimulate depression, it will be completely apathy, negative person. And that is why we need, it's a everyday work. It will never stop, I would tell you.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
when you start to fight, what you can see, when you start to fight against it, and actually you start to be a completely different person who is really, you start to really feel, oh, actually I'm proud of myself, That's why you start to change eating habits, thinking habits, money will come, good people will come to your life, and actually like, wow, well done.
But this is what happened to me, because I remember, I was very sick. Woo! I was very sick that day I met you.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you said to me exactly what you are teaching us now. You taught me this, and you said to me, Aldi, because then I went into fear. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, now I have a parasite, what am I going to do? And you said to me, why are you in fear? A strong, healthy, happy body will fight off whatever is bad for you. And you said to me, all we need to do is, you need to have 3 drips a week, because we need to
start with
we need to make your body strong to fight the parasite. Now, I had felt after Marcus, I had felt that my body was very weak. And he was 4.5 when I met you. He's now turning 8. No, he was 5. And I remember you saying to me, have 3 drips a week. It's going to be a boost for your body. And let's make your body strong to fight whatever needs to be fought. And I will tell you, by the 2nd drip, it was the first time in my life that I felt my body is becoming strong and I'm fighting something off. I had never experienced in my body what I experienced after the 2nd and the 3rd drip. So I will tell you, when you are very sick, like I was, you immediately feel what the drip does and how it starts changing. I remember after the 4th drip, I was lying on the carpet in my bedroom, and I had like a fever attack. I was shaking and I was doing this, and I was lying there thinking, okay, I feel like an alcoholic with withdrawal symptoms. And I will tell you, that 4th drip was when the parasite started dying. And when the parasite started saying to my body, I don't want to leave, I don't want to leave. And I'm telling you, there was internal war going on in here about the body saying to the parasite, it's time to go, and the parasite saying to the body, no, I want to stay here. There was a nuclear war going on here. And the ozone drip, the ozone and the oxygen made this body strong enough to fight.
I tell you why, because it's not only killed. It's all because we killed with homeopathic medication, you remember. But it's also detox you. That is, it's allow your body to eliminate all these dead viruses, all the dead parasites actually. That's why your body start to have more strength, carry on the fight. The problem with anti-parasite medications and other, they just kill, but they don't clean your body, they don't detox you.
That's right.
Detox is important, otherwise they're all dead viruses circulating non-stop in your body. That's why after corona clients, after coronavirus, why?
Let me tell you something as well that we are going to talk about next week. We have now had a few clients, we have now had a few clients that phone and say, okay, we had COVID. And COVID is half a parasite. Am I right?
Yes, my own opinion, when I had COVID, the way how the COVID is hiding in your body and your immune system can't find it. It's like parasites doing it.
Yes,
parasite.
And the ivermectin that people are drinking, ivermectin is an anti-parasitic medicine. And that's why everyone's taking it for COVID. So we're going to talk about that next week. Coming back to the anxiety, once we did the drips
Mm-hmm.
and I took your homeopathic remedy, my body started to become strong, and I will tell you, I know you 2 years now. I've never had a panic attack like that ever again. I've never had a panic attack that took me to the floor or I wanted to go to the emergency room because I felt like I was getting a heart attack. Yes, I still get my bouts of anxiety that I know I need to manage it, and we will discuss now how I manage my anxiety. Maybe if I'm vulnerable and tell everyone how I manage it, maybe they can also try it and see if there is not improvement or relief. But I have never ever had that anxiety
Because we
attack.
work with the reason, with the main reason which trigger. You were not stable with parasites. For other people, it will be different reasons why they have panic
Yes.
attacks.
Yes.
So you need to come, you need to test you and see, because when we tested your panic attacks, it came that you have parasites,
That's
and we
right.
start to test
That's
parasites.
Yes, because you see, with all due respect, you can take a calming tablet if you want. You can take Rescue Remedy if you want. I love Rescue Remedy. I will drink it like a cool drink. You can have your tissue salts. You can take antidepressant medication if you want. Ultimately, the medication is 30% integration. Why is your body getting these panic attacks? If people continuously take medication, why are they still getting panic attacks? Because you still get it. Let me tell you, I can take a calming tablet now in the midst of the panic attack. It just makes me feel very tired and lame. But the energy of the anxiety still lingered in my body, and that's why I decided, no, there has to be something more to anxiety. Anxiety is something to understand. And here is the next section of what I want to say for me. When I started looking at my anxiety as a messenger, it is my body telling me something. It says to me, Aldi, you are dehydrated. I have now learned, if I don't drink enough water, I get anxiety. And a few years ago, I went to a lady who's a kinesiologist, also before I met you, about anxiety. And she said to me, every time you feel anxiety coming up or rising, take a sip of water, hold it in your mouth, and swirl it like that. It works. It really works. So I realized, okay, I have to manage my dehydration.
Agree, completely agree.
Blood sugar. Not eating frequently, not eating good meals, looking at what you are eating. Caffeine, Coca-Cola, chocolates, food that are not high in vibration. There's a lot of things I've learned that can trigger your anxiety and make it worse.
Because they stimulate certain neurotransmitters and your hormones. They stimulate your cortisol level higher, adrenaline. And if you're under a little bit not stable, you don't use adrenaline to run and do something. You use it to create fear, anxiety, and panic attacks.
Yes.
That's why everything what triggers high doses or high your adrenaline, yes, it also could stimulate panic attacks.
And I have had to learn now that when I get anxiety or I'm triggered with anxiety, my body is saying to me, look at that. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, tired, stressed, dehydrated? I have learned to manage all those processes.
Dehydration, kidneys. I told you,
That's right.
kidneys. It's the first organ which also suppressed with anxiety. That is why kidneys, it is a water organ. That is why if you don't have enough water in your bloodstream and for kidneys, of course, it's also triggers.
And then I had to go and see, okay, what is the emotional trigger? So yes, we've addressed my toxoplasmosis, we've addressed parasites, why parasites are there, why we attract parasites. We have to have a strong immune system to fight off whatever is in the air, in the food around us. Now we will come to the phase where we say, you said it, kidneys is fear. Fear can trigger anxiety. So when I feel I'm not in control, when I feel afraid, anxiety triggers.
Yes, but you see, that's why you need to really be confident to yourself, have a power in situation, be self-belief, self-confidence, extremely important. When you have these personalities, we need to now introduce this person, because when we work with your parasites, we also introduce new personalities which will develop but very small. That is why to self-belief,
Yes.
self-trust.
Yes, because if I look in my life, every time I would get anxiety, The real first memory I have is when my mother put me in the creche. So there was separation from her. So every time I go through change or there's separation in my life, my anxiety triggers. So I have to empower myself to go within and look, why do I react this way for change? Why do I react this way for separation? What is my psychological, emotional link that talks to my body?
Yes.
And then the third thing I've come to learn only in the last few months is I have a lot of adrenaline. And I am naturally a very intense person. You know, my clutch goes like that. My clutch double clutches, sometimes the cable snaps. So I have had to learn, when I receive that first anxiety, I must stop, pause, listen and address it. Because I tend to swallow it and go, be a nice person, be a nice person, be a nice person. So my anxiety says, Aldi, you need to say no, you need to put a boundary, but I don't listen.
Healthy ego.
Yes, healthy ego. Of course, now you don't want to be a rude person, you don't want to offend people, so you repress your boundary and your anxiety gets higher and higher. The more you repress, the more the adrenaline goes.
Yes.
Now Aldi has to learn to either go do karate, do martial arts, hit something, or do a activity that is healthy for my body that I enjoy, where I can release the adrenaline and the anger. Because if you repress your anger and you repress your adrenaline, you will either get anxiety or depression or other illnesses.
Yes.
So it's very important, and that's why we're having this discussion this morning. Look at how I have to integrate. And I have been born with anxiety. Do you ever get anxiety?
Not really.
No, I mean,
I hate it, but different. I react
Yes.
differently. Yes.
So that's why we're using me as an example, because you get people that are highly anxious like me. It's in your profile, it's in your program, it's in your nature.
It's your nature, but you need to learn how to cope with this, how to listen your body, how to build your routine and your life around that. That's it will never stop. But believe me, you need to use this weakness as a gift.
That's right.
Use it as a gift.
Otherwise, it will destroy you. And it will destroy the people around you. So I had to make a decision, and every day, just like Dr. Julia says, every day I have to choose. How am I going to work with this anxiety? What can I do to manage it? Who do I surround myself with? What systems do I have in my life? What processes do I have in my life? And I will tell you, when I work very hard and I'm not giving attention to myself, or I'm not taking time for myself, I don't have a weekly drip, I don't run my bars every week. If I don't have a very organized system in my life, it gets triggered and it gets worse. So I have had to learn to take responsibility. I have had to say, okay, you have this now. Stop being upset with people who don't have it. Because that was the first thing. Why do I have it? Why don't other people have it? It doesn't matter, I have it. Make peace with it. Surround you with people who will support you through it. What can I do to manage it? What is it teaching me? How is it helping me? And how can I turn it into a gift and use it to my advantage and learn from it and shine my light? That is what this has taught me.
Yes, and it's so many, you can try a different way, because somebody would love to come for access, but somebody would like to take homeopathic medications at home. Somebody would like just to do drips and talk, just talk, and they feel already good. You need to try a different way and choose what you like. It's not only one way how to do it. If you like your tablets, perfect, come and we will neutralize side effects from tablets, from anti-anxiety tablets, perfect. And I will tell you more also, anxiety and kidneys problems can stimulate insomnia. Insomnia, we need to talk, I think, one day about different type of insomnias. Yes, and insomnia when people can't fall asleep. People can't fall asleep.
If I can't sleep, I'm difficult.
Yeah, but you see, when you can't fall asleep, you not wake up at all. It's also a symptom that you have a fierce anxiety and panic attacks. That's when you can't fall asleep.
Yeah, and there's many wonderful ways where we empower the clients, teaching them make a bedtime ritual, take a lavender bath,
Yes, but
have
that's
a
why we need to
chamomile
work with
tea.
the fears,
Okay.
anxiety, and triggers. That's why we need to work. If you want to fall asleep easily, work with your fears, anxiety, and panic attacks. This is what trigger your insomnia.
And you know what, Dr. Julia, we still are halfway through the month, and we have to talk about insomnia. We have to talk about fear. I think we really have to go into the
Fears,
word
it's a
fear, because it's
fears.
actually all fear. And we have to talk about, you've had the coronavirus or you have had COVID, and it was a trauma. COVID is a very big trauma.
You see, it's a difference between panic attack and fears.
That's right.
Today we will talk about anxiety and panic attacks. We can talk about fears.
That's right. We're going to put
It
it on
is
the
a
list.
something which not really exists.
Yes, we're going to put it on the
Yes,
list.
yeah, that is why we can
Hmm.
talk. And
It's an excellent, we will definitely
It's a
still in
difference,
this
yeah.
month, we're going to talk about those three things.
Mhm.
Because anxiety for me is something that consumes you completely. It just takes over and it runs away with you like a train.
But fear, it's a hiding emotion. You can't really. It's not. Anxiety is a
Can't
fear. You
pinpoint
can
it.
feel it and start to do something. Fear, it's subconsciously sitting, damaging you, but you can't really understand they're still there. It's a hiding, like parasites. I would tell you. Let's talk about parasites and hiding fears next time.
I'm actually quiet now.
Why?
I'm processing
You
what you are
process it.
saying to
Yeah,
me.
that's why we talk
That's
about
good.
action, how we can see anxiety and panic attack. It is what we can see, really see and feel. But fears, they're hiding. That's why you still have, yeah, that's why we need to talk about it.
Okay,
I
we
will,
will.
I will explain difference. I
Thank
will
you.
explain.
So, let's just recap for 2 minutes. So, anxiety can be in the form of a feeling that overcomes you. It sits here in your power energy center. It can manifest as many things. It can go shallow breathing, heartbeat, diarrhea, vomiting. There's many ways that the body then releases that adrenaline that is caused by the anxiety. Anxiety can be managed physically, emotionally, spiritually. It is something that will stay unless you manage it and you address it.
Mm-hmm.
It is very real. An anxiety disorder is something that needs to be embraced, understood, accepted, and managed.
Yes, and after that you will be a very different person, and you will like your new body and your new patterns, way of thinking and behavior. That's why you use it as a power
Yeah.
to change yourself.
So I'm going to give a tool to the viewers today, an access bar tool.
Mm-hmm.
In the access bar therapy, they teach us that we are all walking satellite dishes
Mm-hmm.
and we can feel things around us.
Mm-hmm.
So a very interesting tool that has really worked for me and helped me is when you feel the anxiety coming over you, or when you feel the anxiety starting to consume you, you take a deep breath and you say to yourself, who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness. You say it 10 times, you take a deep breath, and you allow the feeling to go through your body, and as you breathe out, imagine it leaving your body, sending it to the light. This helps me a lot. This helps me a lot, especially when I work in the hospital. I can feel the anxiety there, and especially when I have a client on my bed with anxiety, I can also feel it. So that is a very good tool, and that's what I wish to share with the viewers today, because just like Dr. Julia said, fears are in the subconscious and you can't see it. So when I say to my subconscious, who does this anxiety belong to?
You make
I
it
will
open.
return it to wherever it comes from. The subconscious releases some part that we will discuss that is hiding. Who does it belong to? Return to sender with consciousness. If after saying that 10 times, Dr. Julia, I still feel it, I go and I say 10 times, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. I go have a nice big glass of water.
And breathe.
I
Which make
take
your
a
body
deep
alkaline.
breath.
Yes.
I take a deep breath, and then I actually go and put the blue spray. And I inhale that aromatherapy and that blue spray. And I must tell you, that is the way I have learned to manage the anxiety in my body, and it's very powerful.
And I would tell you more, as I see, you don't create new pathological signals in your body that can stimulate new symptoms in the future, new disease, new cancer, and everything. That's why actually what you do, you neutralize all side effects of your panic attack and everything. It's perfect. Actually, you do immediately healing. You're not hiding in the body it anymore.
Yes, because you see, whatever you bring out in the open and whatever you acknowledge in that moment will heal.
Will heal.
If I get an anxiety attack or I feel the anxiety and I go, no, I don't want it. What am I doing? I'm putting it in the corner like a naughty child, and it will bark at me like a little dog. But if I go, yes, I have anxiety, let me open it, let me go through all my processes, how can I release it, what is it, let me drink water, let me take a deep breath, and I acknowledge it, bring it into the open, and I use my tools, it dissipates very, very quickly. Very quickly.
Yes. Try, do it several times. If it does not work from first time, please carry on.
It's a daily process.
The daily process, like the same, go to toilet and eat food and drink. But one day you will see, wow, actually panic attack never came back, because no space for panic attack anymore in your body, no space.
No.
Good luck. Try this one.
Thank you for this amazing talk. Thank you. This was so empowering. Even for me, it was very empowering. Please share this with people around you. Every person actually goes through bouts of anxiety in their life. And if this video or tools that we give can help someone to have a better quality of life, then we've actually achieved our purpose in this life, because this is why we are here. We wish everyone a blessed week, and we will see everyone back again next week for our Wellness Wednesday. Thank you, Dr. Yulia. Thank you, everyone.